Hello, Supreme Commanders, and this one, surprise, surprise, absolutely no intro whatsoever. That was your intro, so let's crack on. Why'd you say? Well, because at the time that you'll be seeing this, I will be away. I'm just trying to get a bit of content for you guys to see. And so first off, let's reset the view, zoom out real quick, and we can see this is a 12.5 by 12.5 kilometer. Big shout out to my Brazilian friends who sent this game on in. It is a 4 versus 4 as we can see. And let's get on with introducing our players. Music, once again, thanks to Philip Croft. By the way, I'm zooming in and out. Some people are getting sick already. I don't like that the Team 1, Team 2 are both green. Ever so slightly different shade. But I can almost not tell those two teams apart. However, we can see up here, if we click up here, Team 1 is the guys, or are the guys up on the upper west side, Team 2 down there on the lower east side. And so, yeah, let's start introducing our teams. Then we'll start with Team 1 and we'll work our way around clockwise. Here we got Fabio Rusty. Here's Seraphim, 1400 going first land in, well, one of the 3 greens. How frustrating is that? Moving further back, we've got Ayahuasca, then the 1300 in grey. He's UEF, going first land. Moving further clockwise in Burgundy over here, we've got Rick. He's a 1300 going Cybran first land. And then last but not least for Team 1 is Vinny, who is already making his way towards the front. He's a 1400 Cybran as well, going first land. I am pretty keen on this map. Again, it is relatively small, 12.5 by 12.5. It kind of forces all players to the front line, no matter where they are. And moving on to the other side then, in heads-up display green is, I'm going to go with Cairo. I hope I've said that right. I guess it's not Kajiro. There's some of, in our country anyway, that we would say that's Kajiro. But I think I've hopefully casted enough Kairos or the silent J's to realize that's what it is. Either way, 1400, too much on his name, not enough on what he's doing. He's going first land as the UEF there, also in green. Moving further back then, over here in white is Bookie, 55447. We're going to simply refer to him as Bookie. He's Seraphim going first land, second land. Moving on round then in sky blue is Lord Rato or Lord Ratto. Either way, it's a Seraphim there. 1200, the lowest rated player in today's game, or the joint lowest. Going first land, second land as well. And then last but not least, and it really ain't least, is Cyan Big Bang. He's the 1700, also from the Brazilian clan, so not just from Brazil. But from the clan as well. And yeah, we zoom in here, we see there is a bunch of mass wreckage given to us from the Neroxis gen. All of these 44 mass apiece, and they look like Auroras, all of them. I think they're all Tech 1 Auroras. We've got a bunch. Wow, there's a load more over here as well. So there's so much mass. Let's just zoom out and see. Does it add up? Well, there you see. It's about 8,000 per side. In Aurora Rex, a few trees as well, a couple of rocks, but I suspect most of it. Beautiful bomb there, that was crucial, taking out the engineer doing reclaim. There are a couple more, but I suspect that bomber's going to have its way, unless Team 2, I beg your pardon, can get some air over here. It's Team 1 who has the bomber, and somehow both of those engineers just went. So, I don't know what happened to the third engineer. But the bomber there's got 2 kills so far. What happened to that other engineer? There were 3. I'm sure there were 3. You see? Oh, there we see. I see. I get it. The commander got too close. The bomber comes back in base. Beautiful. Picks off 2 more engineers. Very heavily damaged, but I suspect is going to get one last pass. It's going to be close. There is an a Thistle there. Bomb is away. Thistle shoots it down. It does back itself another kill. In its dying moments, 5 kills. Very successful. Early bomber coming over to the other side real quick. Bookie versus Vinny. Vinny has 200 points on Bucky. Currently pretty much 1v1, although Cairo is sending a few units through. That may make all the difference if it's otherwise a one-on-one. In mid, we see Rick and Cairo there. Both of these guys pulling back a little bit. The other mid, Lord Rayo versus Ayahuasca. Ayahuasca, though, has got numbers with tanks here. So if it's otherwise one-on-one, this could be a win for Ayahuasca. Rayo is sending a few units in, and if Ayahuasca backs off, which he does, that's going to leave Rayo to get away with it. Checking him back over here, Fabio Rusty is in a right spot bother. He's up against Big Bang, and Big Bang is chasing it up with Auroras who are out of range. With respect to Team 1 here, Fabio Rusty, but interesting decision there from Big Bang. Is he going to continue to press? Yes, he is. And Fabio Rusty, well, you can't run away from Auroras. They're going to outrun you for days. Yes, you can dance. Can you keep the dance going? Well, you're going to have to dance right good and proper, Fabio. 2,700, 26, 25. And there's just more and more Auroras here all the time from Big Bang. 2,000. The fancy footwork. Keep dancing, keep dancing, keep dancing. Gets a few shots in. But I'm not sure it's going to be enough unless the Auroras decide to shoot something else. Just 100 hit points remain. 60 hit points. And there we go. He is down. Quick check over here then. Both these guys looking pretty well. What's happening here? Well, looks like Cairo's going to be next. He's up against Rick. Rick's got spam. 400, 300, 100. Kaboom. And that suddenly brings it to a 3 versus 3. Quick check over here. Vinny's looking pretty heavily damaged. He's continuing to pursue Bucky, but Bucky's got a lot of spam in the area, and it does look like full share is off. Interesting. So these boys playing for keeps. A quick check on the middle. Rayo, Ayahuasca, they're looking relatively healthy. Vinny's base, or what was handed to Vinny, wide open. That needs to be handed off. Either that or Vinny needs to crack on with things quickly. Bucky going for the gun. Big Bang inheriting. Hang on, is full share on or not? Because Big Bang has taken this. We saw some stuff control Cade, or at least the units. Perhaps it's a partial share. I think it's a partial. Does it say it on here? It says full share, but I've never trusted this. I just seem to think a base, or at least the units, died. Lord Rayo got a bit of bother here. Surrounded with units. He's way, way far forward. He doesn't got himself the gun. There's point defense here from Ayahuasca. Those were crucial. 500, 400, 300, 200, 100, and Rayo is good night. That makes it 2 versus 3 with regards to Team 2. Let's have a look then what happens. And yeah, so it's a partial share. The units go down, the base does not. And so Big Bang now controls 3 bases. And so this has always been my concern. When you have one player in the game who's higher, there's always going to be a highest player in the game. But Big Bang is a 17. The next highest is a 14. That's 300 points. So clearly he's going to inherit now 3 bases. That's 3 economies. And, alright, he's only with one other player who's Bucky. But, you know, what's that? Bucky here pushing with his commander. Bucky does have the gun. And is, well, he's going to be able to brush these mantis aside. He's got units back here thanks to Big Bang. And a few of his own. And so this is going to be nothing but a little mass gift from Team 1. There was a little push through the mid. That was swept aside. Both the players on Team 2 working together. A few bombers here from Ayahuasca coming over. What have they got on the menu? Is it already targeting? Just idly going after the commander. Just more of an raid and annoyance than anything. They may get some of these engineers just because of their proximity. But no. Unless, of course, Ayahuasca decides to switch up his targets, but he does not. A little ping through the mid. Perhaps wanting to get rid of these engineers. Ayahuasca, some very greedy engineers here. I'm surprised they were allowed to get so close. No wonder there was a ping. Tech 1 point defense back here. Interesting, the sporadic placement of Tech 1 point defense by Ayahuasca. It's not something that we usually see. Very easily brushed aside, but they are effective at dealing with individual units that run by. Assuming they're not artillery pieces on attack move. Little air engage over here. Certainly seems that Team 2 have got the numbers. Big Bang. Yeah, who right now, let's have a look on the ecos overall. Income, Big Bang pulls in 117 mass per tick. Look how that compares to everybody else. Big Bang by himself is almost pulling in as much economy as the opposing team. Bookie's only on 25 mass per tick, which is not very much. A bit of a push here from Big Bang. It's not working out. I suspect the pings are coming from Bookie as Big Bang, who's basically trying to manage what feels like to me too many fronts. He's doing air and he's doing two fronts, the left and the right. Bookie, at least for now, seems to be holding on to the mid by himself, although he is on the right flank with his commander. A fighter bomber goes after the commander there. It's just the one from Vinny, which is an interesting play. Fighter bomber continues to try to push through, but it is going to just about get chased down. Yes, does then make a turn, but it's not enough. I wonder what that turn was ultimately going to go for, but Big Bang looking pretty strong over here. Commanders spam still. I'm not seeing any tech at all other than the commander. And so, yeah, as we get to 12.5 minutes, it's been non-stop action. It feels like our first, I was going to say ceasefire, but it's not. Beautiful bombing run there from Ayahuasca. And again, Tech 1 bot. Why did some of these not drop, or did they hit the shield? I think some of them must have hit the shield. A couple of them turn back rounds, but they get shot down. So, yeah, I was a little premature in calling that one. That if I didn't see the shield, had it not have been for that shield, Big Bang's forces there would have been annihilated. He's now going for the Tech 2, which if we take a look, well, reaches right to around that point there. And so Ayahuasca just on the safe side of the fire zone. A quick check up here. Vinny gets on the tail of a superior air force there from Big Bang. And finally does Big Bang does deal with it, but that there was I would say, even though Vinny lost, that was a decent air engage from Vinny. He will have killed at least as many as he lost, and when you're outnumbered by about 3 or 4 to 1, usually you'd expect to lose with terrible trades, but not so much then. Do have a static, oh, it's a flak piece, and so this air here from Big Bang, I do wonder if this is more of a scouting run than it is anything else. Now you see, the information out of here is very out of date. None of these mass points have been scouted at all, which says it's been a long time since Team 2 took a look. Let's have a look at Team 1. Have they had a look recently? No! They haven't even scouted at all once ever, which is very unusual for this sort of skill. Perhaps goes in some point, or in large part, I would say, is explained by the fact that everybody has gone land, and certainly now with 3 players down out of the 8 they are forced to do. Rick, though, the 1300s here, pushing through the mid. And that was an upgrade there from Bucky. He was working on that mass extractor. He just paused it, realizing it weren't going to be a radar station there from Big Bang. That will be going down next. Just one artillery piece or anything here. I'm sure it'll be in range. I do wonder, are they still going to see the units? Well, it certainly looks like it. And again, Bucky, the weaker player, having to point out to his stronger ally, hey, make use of these units. These guys are on a plateau, though. I do just wonder what Big Bang, what his plans are. Because again, he's in charge of such a large area of the economy, and being the strongest player in the game, you would expect him to be doing something. He is taking up from Tech 2 to Tech 3 in his base. So Big Bang's certainly playing for the long haul. This time, a request there from Big Bang, I think. Nice. Go around the back. Good call. Cut off the retreating units. We've also got some point defense here. That's a nice move. I like this. This should be a comprehensive win for Team 2. See there the ping. Rick is trying to bail. He's trying to come out this way, but he's running into the forces there from Bucky. Or Buckeye. He tries then to redirect the other way, but Big Bang's already got it covered with a block in force. Rick's going to be lucky to get more than 2 or 3 units out of this. Looks like he may hold on to more than just 2 or 3. But, I mean, that was like overwhelming, terrible losses. The entire division there reduced to a strength of just half of a platoon. Or half a company. And Rick here with a couple of very cheeky engineers, very lucky that he got those through. There's a lot of mass there now thanks to that. Yeah, 6, 7, 8,000 mass in that particular area thanks to that engage. And that's going to be great for any player at this stage, looking as they go from Tech 2 to Tech 3. Speaking of which, let's have a little look at overall economies now. Team 1, 1.7. Let's just... No, 1.7, what am I talking about? 174,000 versus 155 at the time I looked. So a 20,000 advantage to the guys up top, which is surprising to me because Big Bang's been able to consolidate his eco. A single drop there, 1 artillery remains. We've had 2 more, both successful. All of these are artillery, and these are up against Bucky, who is least able to deal with a drop. He's got the fewest forces. He's only got 49 mass per tick, and he's losing Tech 2 mass extractors. That's 1. He's going to lose this one for sure. The artillery's in the air. This one probably as well. And he may even lose that one if he's unlucky. There he is. That's 4 mass extractors down. He's down to just 32, 29 mass per tick. He is rushing up some Tech 2 point defense. He's got a few units. Are they his mobile shields? Go on, hold it there, Big Bang. Oh, is he going to keep it? The last shell from the last piece of artillery takes it out. Bucky is just lost. He's down to 23 mass per tick. That is horrific for almost 19 minutes into the game. And again, I do hope that there's a little bit of help. Granted, there is a bit of reclaim in the area. But that is, well, got to hand it to Vinny. Beautiful drop, well played. The first one didn't work out so well. There was a lot of forces in the area. But those 2, it was a ballsy push. We saw the interceptors from Team 2. They almost took out the ship. And they did, basically. They took them out very last minute. We've got a drop here from Ayahuasca, who I don't think it's been seen so far. No, it's on the... I don't believe that. The radar just off the edge of the coverage. We've got a few restorers here from Big Bang, whiling away at Ayahuasca, who is going for an upgrade on the commander. I suspect Tech 3, although don't bank that I'm correct. He's already Tech 2. Yeah, he needs to get some flak over this way and quick. These restorers are having their way. There's 4 of them. Here's the drop, though. The restorers are redirected to deal with the flak. There's 3 pieces under shielding, so they should be all right. And there we go. We do see one of the restorers. It should deal with that quite quickly. Here's the drop, once again pinged. Big Bang does send a bunch of spam through. I'm surprised these restorers are living so well. The flak's still banging away at them. But let's have a look at this drop. All of these Tech 3, and we've got the Air HQ surrounded with power. Big Bang's bringing in 7.3. That all hangs off this, if he's able to deal with that. Unbelievable amounts of what we got here. 29 pieces of artillery. All the Tech 3 mexes have gone. They're now firing at the wrong target. Big Bang panics. Go on, go after the PJ. Oh, it's so close. It's so close. I don't believe this. All of the artillery pieces have gone down and Big Bang holds on to everything. Yes, he lost the mechs, but I don't think he's going to worry about that. The power was the problem. The T3 Air, Ayahuasca, a little stubborn there to complete his Tech 3, but he did do it. He's just holding on. He's got Tech 1 point defense, Tech 2. He's got his mass points. He's got this fire base here. I suspect he's got enough to repel the spam. It's the air that's a problem, and he knows it, and he's going for the SAMs. He's got Percy as well. Yeah, this spam just ain't going to get close. But there is a... How many have we got here now from Big Bang? 9 restorers. They're able to put out 2,500 DPS, and all of those DPS are currently unloaded into Ayahuasca, who has got himself 1 SAM, 1 flak. A couple of the restorers are down. We've got a couple of ASF here from Vinny as well. There goes the second restorer. 4,600, 4,000 hit points. He's going for more flak. 2,000. He's now going for a shield. 1,006, 543 to 1,200. The restorers temporarily retarget onto the shield. Ayahuasca tries to run away, but it's too little too late. 22 minutes. Big Bang brings it back. It's a 2 versus 2. Rick's trying another push through the mid. It's still predominantly Tech 1 spam. There's a couple of Vipers in the mix. The Cybran mobile missile launcher. Despite Ayahuasca taking out, the firebase remains there, now in Vinny's hands. Vinny is currently rolling over this forward base that we saw handed over to Big Bang. And that is a lot of Tech 2 mass extractors going down. There's a couple of point defense in the mix, but the real defense here is Bucky, who, credit to him, has been doing a lot with the very little that he's had. We saw his base annihilated. We saw him holding this area despite not having the economic gains. He's got a few units back here. Vinny's trying to push through. And Buckeye with just enough there. He's also got the Tech 2 point defense. And crucially, a siege tank in the nick of time. That will help secure this area versus this spam. And that there, nice win. Rick decides to redirect these units round into this direction, realizes that they've knocked a hole through Team 2's door on the eastern flank. And there's not a lot to stop it. There's a commander, there's a few Tech 2 units here, but the all-important siege tank, we've got a couple of point defense here as well. In fact, with all of this being spam, I'd take that back. This is more than enough. Just look how many shots that mobile shield is absorbing there from Rick. A lot of those Tech 1 shots were just harmlessly falling into the shield. That lost about 80% of its capacity. That's a lot. How many hit points is that? 3,000 in total. And we see it there down to, well, 600. So the shield at 2,400 hit points. And all of that's just going to be regenerated for free. Well, for a little bit of energy. Better that than the hit points from units take an awful lot longer to regenerate. Rick still with a lot of numbers on the front line, but it is mostly spam, as we see here the commander with some escorting tech. I just wonder, is Brazil escort? No, he's not. I thought he might be assisting the commander the way the units were following Bucky around, but it's not. Usually when they assist, you'd get that real nice circular thing anyway, that is, well, if you do it to an ally, it often would get in his way more than it would help. What we got here? These TAC missile launchers, it certainly seems like it. Big Bang identifying a weak spot there from Vinny's forward base. Vinny just happens to get TAC missile defense online in the nick of time to save the final mass point. Nice pickup from Big Bang. Vinny is also holding 3 bases, and so it's kind of a mirror. It's the same 3 as well, which is interesting. We see this base here is mirrored with this base over here. And they're in control by the weakest players. The strongest players hold the other 3. Again, in terms of the mirror, it's exactly the same. The mirror of the map running through like this. Big Bang pushing out the Tech 2 PD. With no UEF players to be concerned about left. Probably doesn't have to worry about the Tech 3-point defense. That doesn't, of course, rule out the fact that there isn't an engineer somewhere left from the, or somebody's made one somehow. We do see Percy's, so it's not entirely impossible, but it's unlikely. Rick, what's he got here? He's so many. 200 Mantis, 35 artillery pieces, 42 scouts, and only 3 Vipers, 3 Flaks, and 6. So out of what is about 300 units total, only 12 of them are Tech 2, and none of them are Tech 3. Providing here that Big Bang can keep his shields online, and Bucket is going for an upgrade. And so that takes him out the game. I still think the Tech 2, provided they push into the flank of this, we see here most of this end is spam. So it's just the scouts of the spam. But Rick is looking increasingly dangerous and aggressive here. What's he doing? Sam's site. He's building a very forward fire base. He's got the hives here. And so there's a lot of capacity. And Rick is himself Tech 3. So perimeter monitoring station, that's probably going to enable him to see a huge area. He's also got a Monkey Lord here. As we get to 27.5 minutes, let's take a look at the ecos overall. 486 versus 352. 1,000 favoring Team 1 still. I reckon that's in some part due to this base being overrun. We also saw Bucky's base overrun as well with the mass. We saw this here as well taken out, although Big Bang's been quick to rebuild. But if you add all of that up together with the delays, that may be, well, clearly is responsible for 140,000 mass overall. And Rick, rather than continuing to hold, decides to press. Man, is that perimeter monitoring station building slowly? I can only assume the guy is stalling, and he is big time. But I suspect it's not the highest priority right now. He's pushing through, and I don't see very much to stop this Monkey Lord. As we get to the 29th minute, just 30 seconds or so away, Bucky realizes, yeah, the Bab is contacting the aircon. It is time to move. Cancels his upgrade. And the forward base there from Big Bang that has also been rebuilt at least twice goes down a 3rd time. And the Monkey Lords, well, if it knows what's good for him, may as well get these mass points. It's a very quick, easy way to get vets. The Monkey Lord is now a 1-star. Look at Buckeye here with a whole bunch of kills versus the spam. He's got to be careful with the Monkey Lord. Big Bang Sending Tech 2 in. Buckeye moving his Otham siege tanks away. He's spamming up Tech 2 point defense. And Buckeye knows he's got to get to this Monkey Lord and overcharge. He's certainly making a move for it. There's so much spam in the area. He is a 3-star. Monkey Lord goes for the point defense. It is now a 2-star. It's got a little way to go, about 7,000 mass till it becomes 3. Move your siege tanks in. It's perhaps a little late there. Look, is again trying to get closer to the Monkey Lord for an overcharge, but it's very close to its 3rd star. There it is. Monkey Lord gets a huge amount of hit points back on, and that is now looking a little problematic. Bucky's main is going up and over here. We've got a few bricks going after Big Bang's main base, who's there forward with his commander. He's got the rate of fire. He's in and out of shields. He can overcharge the bricks. Is he going to hold? Well, I suspect so, thanks to his shields. Things looking a lot worse here for Buckeye. He gets an overcharge on the Monkey Lord, but it's a 5-star. And he's got all this spam here from Rick to contend with. Man of the match, Bucky, giving you it here and now. Doing so much with so little, despite your rating. Solitary Brick does manage to get through, but man, Big Bang's eco has gone, and they've decided to call it quits. Team 2 give up, and with it, ladies and gentlemen, a win for Team 1. And that, I'm really happy to bring you that, because it bucks the trend. It shows just because the strongest player in the game gets the eco early on can't always make it work. I do hope you enjoyed that one. And ladies and gentlemen, wherever in the world you may be, take care. Until next time, from me here deep inside the UK, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Take care. Bye-bye. Or do wish as well, do keep us in your thoughts, because again, at the time that you're hearing this, I'm probably laid out somewhere in some hospital bed, unconscious in the basement, being operated on, which, yeah, freaks me out to rat.